What's up, y'all? You're tuned into the Cool Solution Show with yours truly, James Rousseau, aka Trig, right here on Holy Coach Radio, siriusxm channel 154. I also just started the live stream on Instagram. What's up, DJ Delight International Show? What's good, my bro? Good to see you. Happy New Year. And like I said at the top of the show, man, just starting this conversation with y'all about how we get the new year started. I've seen a lot of posts. I've seen a lot of good advice. I want to weigh in, and I want y'all to weigh in too. And so please bring it. You can definitely do it in the live stream, or if you want to hit me up on the hotlines, 1-833-RADIO-HC, please feel free to do that. And I just want to throw a couple thoughts out there, man, and get this conversation started because I think it's so key. Aloha to you too, child of God, Chavez. Good to see you, my bro. A couple things, one of the things about the way God works, when I think about the way God works, is consistency. God is so consistent. And when I think about New Year's and New Year's resolutions and such, one of the things that came to mind for me in my prayer was, instead of thinking New Year's and resolutions, thinking be resolved. Being resolved in the purpose that God has called you to. Being resolved in that purpose. Being resolved in being consistent, having a higher level of accountability, and continuing to move forward. Salute to you as well, official prodigal son, my bro. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, being resolved in your passion, your purpose, and your priorities, and everything God has called you to in this year, as opposed to a new resolution. And it made me think about, again, God's consistency in what he's doing. And the first tip I want to throw out in that sense is gratitude. Because one of the things that happens towards the end of the year and launching into the new year, sometimes is this sense of focusing on what is missing versus what is already there. Like there's so many things that are already there that God is doing are happening in your life that are already well. And somehow, as the end of the year comes and the new year begins, this vacuum happens where almost like those things disappear and we start looking at, man, there's so much that seems to be missing, right? And so how do we focus on, what's already there? And this scripture came to me, Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing a new thing. I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. See, God is already doing miraculous work. He's already doing new things. Gratitude helps us remember what is working well, fam. It helps us remember to be thankful. We're here. We're alive. Hopefully we're healthy. Hopefully we're still putting food on the table. We're still putting clothes on our backs. Despite everything that's going on in the economy, challenges in the job market, all the things that we can name that happened in 2022, there's so many things to be excited about, to be thankful for, to be raising our hands to, right? And somehow towards the end of the year and coming into the new year, we can easily shift focus to, man, this void. And so I want to say tip number one, man, focus on some gratitude. Don't let this void happen. You know what I'm saying? Focus on that gratitude of, yes, Lord, I am so thankful for what you're doing. I'm so appreciative. And I want to continue to be consistent in my walk with you. And I don't want to make a new resolution. I want to be resolved and galvanize my consistency and personal accountability to keep walking with you in everything you've called me to do. That's the first thing I would throw out. So I'm going to jump into some music because that's what we do as a part of being a Holy Coach Radio. But man, y'all throw out some tips to me on what y'all are thinking too. I want to hear what's happening for y'all, and I've got to be respectful of Instagram and our platforms and not play music on these platforms. So as I jump into some music, y'all, I'm going to jump off and come back to this live very shortly. All right, y'all, keep it locked. Holy Coach Radio, siriusxm channel 154. Keep it locked, y'all. What's up, y'all? It's James Rousseau Sr., aka Trig, right here. Holy Coach Radio, siriusxm channel 154. And if you're just tuning in, we're having this conversation about how to get the year started right, y'all. How do we get this year started right? Because we've been hearing so many things. And again, like I said in the first segment, a lot of times when you get going into the new year, one of the things that can creep in is this, I call it this vacuum of what is already going well. It's almost like you forget it. And so one of the first things I said, my very first tip is gratitude. Have some gratitude about the things that are already going well in your life. Again, I'm just going to reiterate it, that God says he's already doing a wonderful thing. I read a piece of Isaiah. I am already doing a wonderful work. Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. So let's give praise to what God is already doing. So here's my second tip. And let me tell you a brief story. So when the pandemic first started, I was still doing some business consulting. We hadn't launched SiriusXM yet. So I still was doing some consulting of some businesses, some executives. And one of the things I found that people were doing was almost in a similar way, forgetting some of the core elements of their business. I was coaching different C-suite executives, some CEOs, CMOs, different people such as that. And almost panic sometimes can set in and you almost lose yourself. You almost forget the core elements of what you do. And even my playbook, my coaching playbook, as it were, almost was becoming irrelevant. I had to step back for a second myself and kind of zoom out and say, well, what is happening here? And here's a couple things that came to mind for me. I had to remind folks of a few things. One, there are three things that do not change, even in the case of pandemic. One, your why does not change. The very reason that you're here, your purpose, your why does not change. Two, who you serve does not change. And three, what you do does not change. Now, two things may change, right? Where you do it, so where you conduct business, how you do it, working from home, in the office, etc., and how you get it done, that might change, right? But the why, the who, the what, those things don't change. And so similarly, as you cross the year, those things don't have to change. You know what I mean? Like be consistent, have the accountability I talked about before. And so one of the things I did with folks is walk them through a process that I think is very appropriate here. And I call it the stop, start, and continue list, because sometimes it's the things that are in our way, or the things that we're doing every day, that become the things that can hold us up or accelerate us. So I call it the stop, start, and continue list. By the way, I didn't make up this list. This is a tried, true, and well-used technique that people have used over time. So let me walk through it. Stop, start, and continue. So if you were like literally on a piece of paper, writing down three lists, you write stop, have a column, start, have a column, continue. On the stop list, there are a couple questions I would ask you to consider putting in the stop column. Here's the first question. And these, again, are around things that are going to affect your purpose, your passion, and your priorities, okay? Because again, I started with, it's not about New Year's resolution. It's about being resolved to continue doing what God has called you to do. So on the stop list, this list should include items that are not contributing to your purpose, your passion, or your priorities. So just think about what you do every day. If there are things that are not contributing to your purpose, passion, or priorities, you should really consider, do you need to keep doing them? If you've ever seen the movie Office Space, it's like the TPS reports. Why are we producing those reports every day? Why do we keep doing it? Just ask yourself, why am I continuing to do that? This list should also include things that do not give you energy or that are draining your energy. I mean, just be real about that. A lot of times we know what those things are, but we continue doing them. We kind of just chalk it up as this is just a part of the everyday life. This is just a part of the journey, right? The hamster on the wheel. It doesn't have to be. You can make a choice. You can put it on the stop list and you can determine how you deal with it at a later time, but at least put it on the list so you're cognizant of it and can deal with it. The second list is like the start list. The things that you may want to start doing because you believe they will contribute to your purpose, passion, or priorities. Things that you've been eyeing, things that you've been going, you know what? That's an idea I like to test. There's nothing wrong with testing things. Giving it a shot, saying, you know what? I believe this will move me down the track in terms of achieving or making progress towards my purpose, passion, and priorities, right? This list should also consist of items that will boost your energy and well-being. And then the last list is the continue list. And this is the hardest list because a lot of times we'll do the stop list and definitively say, these things are not contributing and I should pull them out. And by the way, that should include with measured definition, people that are not contributing to your purpose, passion, and priorities, or that are draining your energy. The start list, right? things you want to add and people you want to add to your circle and spend more time with. But the continue list, people sometimes take the stop list, the start list and say, everything else should just happen. No, the continue list should be items that are contributing to and that you know are contributing to. You have evidence that they're contributing to your purpose, passion, and priorities. Like you can look at them and go, absolutely. I know they make a difference. I know each time I do this thing, I contribute to, I spend time here, I invest here, I can see the return. I see it contributes. It makes sense for me to consistently invest because time is not a renewable asset. We can't get more time. You can replenish your money. You can replenish other things that you do, but you cannot replenish time, family. So if nothing else, if you take away from this, please consider doing the stop, start, continue exercise. I'm going to jump into some more music. If you're on the Instagram live, or if you're listening to us on SiriusXM Holy Culture Radio, go to the Instagram post. Drop me some of your year begin tips because I love to hear them and share them with our audience. Y'all keep it locked right here. It's Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 1, SiriusXM channel 1 to the 5 to the 4. And we'll be here for a minute, y'all. It's your man Trig, Quilling Solution Show.